this is my design breakdown. First, the player spawns in the front lot of the scapyard. I added a checkpoint here at the beginning to kind of help them ID this area. This starting area is really here to let them get used to the setting, high walls, hard to see through area, and to lay the groundwork for the critical path. Here you can see that the critical path is marked through all the way. Here we run into our first open door. Proceeding inside, you can see there's an upstairs with a dead body, and then our first button, which is our introduction to our mechanic. And that dead body's there to signify that there's a zombie up here that they may encounter. And then proceeding, we have, upon exiting the building, we have our critical path leading us to the next area, and the power line showing us the next building. As we walk by, this door opens. Here, I put a spotlight here so it looks like it's being flooded by daylight through here. And to let the emanation of the power really come through. I was having, through some of my feedback, I was using a lot of this like gray 1, gray 2, so it's hard to see everything. So I've started pathing with these dark gray 4, so that's easier to tell that the path is. And I wanted to be pretty low stakes as they're practicing with the mechanic and get them used to the idea that they can walk on power lines. Back here, if you recall, to the upstairs, I had 2 barriers there for cover placed, and this is meant to call back to that, as there's another zombie back here that the player could choose to fight. Moving on from that, we come in here, another open door. We can see the trucks here to help world build, and then this glowing object here. This is what we were sent here to collect. Right now I have it set as a book. Did really have the idea for it to be a ledger that leads into the next quest on where to collect the items that we were sent out to get. And then again, still using this dark gray to indicate the path. After that, we come up here to press another button, and that's leading us into the next area, and we can see another door. Here I added a shortcut so that you didn't have to fight your way through the maze again, because you will die if you fall from those heights. And I did add a checkpoint here, so after you unlock this door, you're safe, so you can do this puzzle several times, dying, and eventually get it. I had some playtesters struggling, and one of the big things was you had to respawn all the way back at the start. So I added several checkpoints, that being the first checkpoint I added there. Here there's another checkpoint to let them know that they entered the back lot. Over here I have a little parkour challenge for the player. This just leads to some money. And then next is the puzzle. Here, I used a gray to stand out from the path. I didn't color these dark as you were being led directly to them. And I added some health packs there and there in front of the car pile climb. Referring to the cars, I did update my car models so that they had dark tires and the body was blue to help with the overwhelming amount of gray that was being used. Here, following the path that I'm giving to the player, you're going to press this button and you're going to, first thing you should see is this power line leading over here. And then you should see that we only have a couple inactive lines now. After opening this door, I'm figuring the player is going to hit this button and then leave, but this power line's still not active. And then here you can see this is the only room that's been wrapped in wire to encourage the player to climb the wire. All the way out to press this button that activates this final wire here. I did have playtesters quote unquote cheese this as they would do the car climb, cross that wire, climb all the way over here, and then jump to their deaths here. And that was pre-checkpoint, so they were restarting all the way at the beginning of the level just to finish this area. And then proceeding from here, all we have left is the car climb. To help make this more obvious that I wanted people to climb these cars, I added this yellow spotlight to indicate, hey, climb this. There's something important there. I also added this health pack here on the pathway, just in case the player's falling and they're not instantly given a death sentence for missing a couple jumps. From here is tight roping the rest of the way. Hit this button that activates the final line. And then we use the power line to tightrope all the way around. And that's the end of the level. Thank you.